Hi there, it's Jansen from VMO. Welcome back to the VMO YouTube channel, and cast your mind back about a year ago to January 2023 to be exact, and I actually created a blog post about this Fenix HP30R headlamp. It was a provisional review, if you like, just comparing it to my existing Teakle models. This is a hell of a lot cheaper. Was it as good? At the time, I thought so. Well, over a year later, do I still think it's as good? Let's find out. So here is my Fenix HP30R headlamp, and I've been using this extensively for probably 18 months, or certainly getting on that way anyway. And I'm not known as someone who looks after my fishing tackle. This headlamp gets thrown about in the seat box, in the rucksack gets chucked down cliff faces, all kinds of stuff happens. And a head torch being something with wiring, electronic circuitry, batteries, all that kind of thing, it would be fair to say that this kind of kit is quite susceptible to damage. But I've got to say it's been incredibly reliable. This thing hasn't let me down yet. So let's start with the battery pack. And if you look at the condition of this, you'll see there's very little in the way of corrosion. Okay, so there are a few marks, a few scrapes. Like I say, I'm not careful with my kit. I do really chuck it about. But look at the condition of that. It's absolutely fine. Now, arguably, the front part of the head torch is what's facing into that salt spray. And salt spray on anything of this kind, it's going to cause damage over a period of time. But again, you can see perhaps a tiny bit of salt corrosion going on here. And on the back of the head torch, this tilt mechanism, you can see there's a little bit of salt on that. But it's still functioning. This is the thing. So however these lamps are sealed, there's nothing getting in there. Let's come around to the front part of the head torch. And you can see there's actually a bit of bait juice or something mucky on there. Yeah, doesn't smell too great. But again, everything is in working order. If I come to the rotary switch, spotlight 1, 2, 3, 4, absolutely fine. Turn them back the other way. Onto the floodlight, 1, 2, 3, they're fine. And let's combine the two. So there you go, still fully functioning. Now, the price of this thing, I think at the time it was around £200. It may be slightly more than that now, but when you consider that the Teakle headlamp I was comparing this to was up around £400, it's a hell of a price difference. What I still love about this thing is the fact that the batteries, which are contained in here, they're just simple 21700 cells, 5000 milliamp hour. They last for ages. I can get a whole session out of this head torch. And what I mentioned in the blog post at the time was the convenience of these batteries. They fit in your hands, a couple of spares of those in your rucksack if you're doing a really long session, or if, like me, you like to run the thing on its highest power setting for a considerable amount of time, you've got spare batteries there ready to go. We've got our battery indicator light there. That tells me we're still on full power. But all of the connections, there's nothing loose. There's no loose connections at all. The saltwater environment that this thing gets subjected to on a regular basis, it's done nothing. It's not damaged the headlamp in any way. It's still going strong. So I'd say this is damn good value for money. And it's certainly as good as those more expensive Teakle models, possibly even better. So there you have it, the Fenix HP30R really has passed the test of time. I've absolutely abused this headlamp over the course of the last year, and it hasn't let me down once. It's proved to be a really reliable unit and at an excellent price point, certainly up there in terms of performance with the more expensive Teakle models anyway. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it interesting. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you again.